Hey guys, Aoki here. Going to be doing something a little different today. I was inspired by the Law King content video, Top 5 Best Champion Designs, which I will link to in the description of this video. After watching that video, I wanted to create my own list of the top 5 best designed support champions. Now, this is going to take into consideration everything from their aesthetics to their gameplay cohesion, how well that synergizes with that particular champion. Are they fun to play as and against? If their kit is well designed, everything. The only thing this won't take into account is the champion's lore. I'm not a fucking role player. I have no idea what 90% of the champion's lores are. What I do know is how they exist in the game, which I've put a few thousand hours into, almost all of which was in the bot lane. So without further ado, let's get into it. The top 5 best support champion designs. At number 7 is Lulu. Lulu is this little Yordle, and she has an oversized wizard hat, and she just says a whole bunch of nonsensical shit, and it's awesome. She turns you into a frog, she pokes the shit out of you, and then she takes mushrooms and grows twice her size. She's cutesy, she's got an insanely tilting laugh. Her spells feel nice to hit, but are still dodgeable. She's quotable. She's just a well designed champion, and really feels like she belongs in this fantasy game that Riot's created. Moving on, at number 6 on the list is Blitzcrank. Now, at first glance, Blitz kind of seems like the quota meeting robot of the cast. I mean, like, every popular game has one. Halo has 343 Guilty Spark, Ratchet and Clank has Clank. It just feels like every popular game has a robot, and Blitzcrank could have been that stand in, but I think his design is actually really pretty inspired. He's got a nice contrast with his stubby legs and his big ass body. One of his eyes is bigger than the other for some reason. I mean, he just looks cool. He's also got some of the best skins in the game, and it's also rare to see a champion that literally only does one thing. Like, today's Riot seems to think that every champion has to have these overloaded kits with 3 proc gimmicks and well rounded mobility and everything. Everything. But Blitz, everyone knows what this guy does. He's so binary. You land the hook and you probably won the fight. You don't land the hook, you probably lost. It's just like such a one note champ. I respect that design philosophy. At number 5 on the best design support champions list comes Braum. In a game where everyone wants to be that badass, edgy, scary, intimidating thing, you have a person who physically actually meets all of those demands. Like, can you imagine running into Braum in some back alley Russian strip club? The dude is built like a fucking train, but all he wants to do is, like, protect and cuddle you. The voice acting on this champ is so good. Like, I legit just want to hang out with Braum. Even though basic biology tells us otherwise, when Braum tells you that the heart is the strongest muscle, you really believe it. He can peel, he can engage, he's got a cohesive theme to him, and he's just a fun-loving dude. That's rare in this game where we've got 500 edgelords trying to convince you they're the most badass. Braum is a nice change of pace. Okay, so moving on to number 4 of the best design support champions is Thresh. This guy pretty much makes every list, and there's a reason for that. The guy is just thematically really cool. He's intimidating without trying too hard to be. He's got a kit that just opens the door for endlessly talented play and counterplay. Like, I'm sure you guys have I've seen all the highlights. Thresh has an infinitely high skill ceiling, and he's just basically the Swiss Army knife of bot lane. He can pretty much do it all, gameplay wise. And if the enemy ADC misses a CS, Thresh hunches over and laughs his ass off at them. It's humiliating. God bless Thresh. Moving on to number 3 of the best design support champions is the Heart of the Freljord Braum. This champion just makes sense. He carries around a huge shield, and that's exactly what he is. Braum exists solely to take care of you and to protect you. There's nothing more satisfying than playing as Braum and standing in front of your ADC and soaking a million projectiles that would have just ended their fragile life. When you look at Braum, you just feel good about yourself. There's this twinkle in his eye that just lets you know you're safe. And his accent, it just adds to his allure, you know? There's just something about Braum that lets you know you're home. Moving on to number 2 of the best designed support champions is Bard. Everything surrounding Bard's release was handled really, really well. From the 2D animated short that accompanied him to us finally seeing his Miyazaki inspired design, this champion has like a cult of players around him. He has an air of mystique that not many champions do, and a gameplay style that can go from "oh my god, that is so troll" to "holy shit, well played, Bard" within seconds. His ult, his magical journey, his meeps that make him basically play fucking Pac-Man. He's super fun, he's rewarding, he has this creature Buddhist look to him. I dig him. Rounding out our list of the best designed support champions. Now, this pick's going to be a bit of a dark horse. It's a polarizing pick for sure, because there are a lot of complaints surrounding this champion. Too big of a Q hitbox, not any real counterplay. But despite that, the number 1 best designed support champion has to go to Braum. Braum is one of those champions that makes you feel good about yourself. Even if you're having an off game, he's a warm, compassionate soul that takes the meaning of support to heart. He's always there for you, to peel you when you're caught, to slow down the enemies and make sure you get your ADC fed. The design, the kit, the voice acting, everything on this champion makes me just want to, play as him again and again. Just harder and harder, you know? Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what your top 7 best designed support champions would be. This has been Ioki. Hope to see you guys at the stream. Peace.